So far we covered three topics. Now let's go for fourth topic. That is also very important one. Verbs and its types. There are three types of verbs. We need to learn those verbs also. The knowledge of those types of verbs will help a lot when we are learning tenses. Come, let's learn those also. My dear students, just now we studied verbs and pronouns. Now let's have a look at types of verbs. Three types of verbs and the difference among them. There are thousands of verbs in English language. These all thousands of verbs are categorized into three. Let's see them. What are those three kinds of verbs? Here forms V1, V2, V3. In this row you see forms, and in this column you see types of verb. Three types of verbs are there: regular, irregular and same types of verbs, and these are all examples. Let's see them one by one. Regular. V1, jump, walk. It is the base form of the verb. V2, when the regular verbs change from V1 to V2, they change as jumped, walked. Then when it comes to V3, again jumped, walked. V2 and V3 are same in regular verbs. Another important characteristic of regular verb is it takes ed as a suffix. If there is ed at the end of the verb, then we consider that this is a regular verb. There is a regularity. That is why these verbs are called as regular verbs. In V2 jumped, in V3 jumped. In V2 walked, in V3 also walked. These are not the only two examples. There are thousands of regular verbs. Let's see them in the coming classes. Then second one is irregular verb. I have taken the example of write and see. This is the base form V1. Write, when it comes to second form V2, it becomes wrote, and in V3 it becomes written. Then see, saw, seen. V2 saw, V3 seen. You might have observed there is irregularity when they change from V2 to V3. In the regular verbs, what you see, there is regularity when they change it from V2 to V3. Jumped, jumped, ed. But here, can you find any ed? No. From write, wrote is entirely different. And from wrote, V3 is entirely different. Written. Then saw, this has no regularity. Then seen, there is no regularity. When these verbs change from their basic form to V2 and V3, there will be no regularity. That is why these verbs are called as irregular verbs. There are thousands of examples for them. Just two are mentioned here. Then same kind of verbs. In all the three forms, V1, V2, V3, they are same. See here, cut V1, cut V2, cut V3. Shut V1, shut V2, shut V3. So while using tenses, if I mention V3 and if I give you a verb shut and use it in present perfect tense, thinking that in present perfect tense we should use V3, we should not use the verb shut as shutted, cut as cutted. That will be wrong. In V3, these form of the verbs remain same. With V1 plus S and V1 plus ing, all three types of verbs act same. It may be regular, it may be irregular, it may be same kind of verb. These three kinds of verbs act same when it comes to V1 plus S and V1 plus ing. See here, examples. V1 plus S, jump has become jumps, walk has become walks, write has become writes, see has become sees, cut has become cuts, shut has become shuts. Only whatever may be the type of verb, it may be regular, irregular, same. Just we need to add one S to make it V1 plus S. The case is same with V1 plus ing also. Here just we add one ing form. The verb may be regular, irregular or same. Jumping, walking, writing, seeing, cutting, shutting, like that. Just now we discussed about types of verbs or kinds of verbs. Now let's see how the verbs are used. Usage of verb. Now let's have a look at usage of the verbs. I read. Nanu oduttene. Here the meaning of I is nanu and the meaning of read is odu. When we take this verb read separately, it just means odu. That's all. Reading it means. Look at this sentence. You read. When we say you read, here it becomes Neenu odutti. Here Nanu oduttene. Here Neenu odutti. Read is same in these both sentences. But the meaning of this read has changed according to the pronoun. Here the pronoun is I, here the pronoun is you. Here oduttene, here odutti. Read is same. So according to the pronouns, the meaning of the verb also changes. The meaning of the verb read changes according to the person or the object with which it is used. The case is same with all the other verbs. The topic verbs is very interesting. The more we analyze the topic verb, the more we get realizations. The meaning of the verb changes according to the pronoun with which it is used. Just now I take the example of read. I read, we read, you read, he reads, she reads, it reads, they read. Here read remained same, but when it is used with the pronouns, then the meaning of the sentence went on changing, and the meaning of that verb also went on changing. When I said I read, Nanu oduttene. When I said you read, Neenu odutti or Neevu oduttiri. We read, Navu odutteve. Here read is same, but meaning oduttene, odutteve, odutti. In these many ways, it went on changing. Now let's take the example of the verb eat. If I say I eat, we eat, you eat, he eats, she eats, it eats, they eat. Here, eat has remained same in all these 8 sentences except he, she, it eats. But the meaning hasn't remained same. When I said I eat, the meaning of eat is tinnuttene. When I said we eat, the meaning of eat was tinnutteve. When I said you eat, the meaning of eat here tinnutti. When I said you eat with the plural usage, here it becomes tinnuttiri. When I say he eats, here the meaning of eat became tinnuttane. When I said she eats, here the meaning of eats became tinnuttale. When I said it eats, the meaning of eat here tinnuttade. When I said they eat, here the meaning of the eat became tinnuttare. See here, verb remains same in most of the cases, but the meaning of the verb goes on changing. Why it changes? Because the pronoun or the noun which is used with the verb causes the change of the meaning of the verb. Not only read or eat, with all the verbs the case is same. That is why in all the 12 tenses only 5 forms of the verbs are used. These 5 forms of the verbs mean in 1000 ways.